Do you think we're gonna get a DraftKings ad in the middle of a debate? No, I will say this though. So right now, websites like Polymarket let you bet on the election, but they're all based outside of the United States. It's illegal to bet on a presidential election in the United States. But a judge recently made a ruling that's gonna break that, likely. And so there's a very real chance that we're not too far from DraftKings having elections. So you can just pop open your fucking gambling app and then bet on our elections, which I'm sure is really good for democracy. Nothing more American. They get a presidential parlay. Maybe it'll get more people into voting. Adding gambling to get voter participation up is very funny. I would vote if my bet was on the line. Damn. Let's pump and dump Trump. Dude, can you imagine? I mean, you had the right group of people, or if it was influencers or something, and they all buy low. Like there's a candidate, like let's say it's a race with not a ton of participation. Like it's New York City District Comptroller or something. And there's a guy who's kind of a lock. And then some influencers in the area, they pick the underdog, they buy a bunch, make a huge bet, and then start pumping that candidate. All of a sudden they can make a huge underdog win. What are you planning? Just planning a way to make money. It's like this whole election is now becoming more and more clear that it's going to come down to like 600 people in Pennsylvania. It's crazy. It is so down to relatively few people. We have 300 million people and it's going to come down to so few people. They're just speaking to them. Like me as a Californian, they're not speaking a word to me. My vote doesn't mean anything.
Back and forth.
Undecided Pennsylvania voters. Are they in an Olive Garden? Yeah, this is how the media sees the average American voter. Hey, we put you in an Olive Garden so you feel comfortable. You want some breadsticks? You want some slop? Being undecided is so crazy. Listen, the fact that we have 6% of the country that's still undecided is the only thing keeping us from civil war. Because it's the last thing that makes each party think they can still win. I want you to understand that these dummies that you don't like that are eating their Olive Garden slop are the only reason we don't have civil war, and I'm only half kidding. The fact that there's still 6% we can sway back and forth to have elections.
So what do you need to hear tonight?
I feel left behind by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party.
You're undecided?
Harris received 0 votes.
I mean, I'm not stereotyping here, but you put sunglasses on this guy, he's like already an influencer on X. You put sunglasses on a profile picture on this guy, he's like 200,000 followers.
Guys, we're going to watch this debate together, and Savannah and Lester, we will certainly report back on sort of what the reactions are here in the room. It's an instant focus group.
Yeah, some important voices to hear. Kate, thanks very much. Let me bring in 2 experts at...
The way he said that. He's like smirking as he says it.
Focus group.
Yeah, some important voices to hear. Kate,
the hour now.
Oh, let's go!
Here in New York,
3,
in Philadelphia,
2,
the room where it's
1.
about to happen. We're just seconds away now.
And I'll tell you something. He's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Where's the Polymarket chart at? Did it change? I mean, it probably takes a day, right? Was there any shift? Massive Harris surge, huh? Oh, yeah. Wow. I mean, it's back to dead even, but yeah. 49-49. I thought she did well in that debate. I mean, I think anyone, even the most diehard Harris hater, would have expected less from her. I mean, I think she outperformed all expectations. Again, it's just like 2 states, bro. The more I drill into it, it's like so much of the country's voting doesn't matter. Like, it's just going to be, I mean, I'm not saying that you should vote 100%. I'm not, it's just crazy how much it comes down to a few swing states. If you're in a swing state, especially vote. Oh, these guys.
We've all been dying to hear what they thought.
What are they saying?
And how they reacted to what they heard tonight.
Because I could
Our
see your reactions in
undecided
real
PA
time. There were
voters.
a lot of visceral reactions. In one word, if I can ask, how would you headline this
word?
debate? One word to describe what you saw.
Well, it's 4 words. Same old, same old.
Hannah.
Manipulative.
And Andrew.
Lies on both sides.
Okay.
Lies.
No, you came in all undecided. Yeah,
We got a
I could
cynical
go for that
country here,
policy.
folks.
I could stand with that candidate.
Not really. For me, I think Kamala had a good debate. I feel more favorably towards her than to Donald,
It
but I'm
seems that way.
still not 100%.
Well,
You
decide,
women
ma'am. You
reacted
got like
very
20
strongly when
days.
Harris was talking about abortion.
Holy
When
people
both
just like
candidates were
the
talking about
attention.
abortion rights, you reacted strongly to Donald.
Lock in
Emotional about
eventually.
it.
Make
Hannah,
up your mind.
Yes. Andrew, anything you heard that changes how you're thinking about their economic policies?
No, because at the end of the day,
They
December
barely
and
discussed
November is
them.
going to roll around, and they're going to pass, they're going to say we're going to shut down the government, and they're going to pass an omnibus, and they're going to spend trillions of dollars, and nothing else is going to change. They're just going to keep spending money uncontrollably.
Tell them, bro.
Donald Trump spent $6 trillion.
Get on my Reddit.
Disgustingness.
Andrew, thank you so
much.
Get
on my Reddit.
Hannah.
Election day is, well, it starts tomorrow in one state, but is 6 days away in Pennsylvania. Early voting.
6 days for those undecided voters to make up their mind. Hey guys, did you get your checks from George Soros yet? Because I have filled out like 400 fake ballots. I had Ari out there working on them, and I'm not going to stuff the ballot box until I get my check. So if anybody has contact with Soros, please let him know. I will not be stuffing these ballot boxes until I get my money.
Country, I thought she was very specific on her plans to cut taxes, particularly for small business owners.
Okay, I want to talk about that. I mean, neither of them were specific on the economy. Trump just kept saying 1 billion Guatemalans, I'll cut taxes broadly. She had a few specific things, but like, they're so small. You know, like I'm going to do a small business tax cut, and I'm going to do a child care tax cut, and I'm going to give a housing credit. All these things are drops in a bucket, and in the case of the housing thing, I don't think it's effective. I don't necessarily blame either of them or the moderators, because no American wants to hear boring discussion about interest rates or anything. But man, I would love, maybe Walz and Vance will talk more deeply, but there's more people buying homes help the economy. It's more of the idea that homes are unaffordable. They're very, 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 very expensive. And when you try to subsidize demand by basically, in this case, printing money since we're in a deficit, and giving it to people buying homes, it just raises the price of homes. It's the same thing with ever-increasing costs of going to college over the past 30 years. The easier the access to cheap money and loans just makes the price go up. Demand subsidization doesn't really work. What are your feelings on tariffs and economic strategy? I'm not pro tariffs in general. It's a real beggar thy neighbor, race to the bottom strategy that doesn't really work. But tariffs as a way of keeping some industries alive domestically can work for sure. Like if you have a domestic car industry and you're like, hey, I don't want them to lose. I don't want them to go bankrupt. Tariffs can keep them alive, but it's not a way of the country making money. It's just a tax on your own consumers. So it's like a way for people to pay more to make sure the jobs are in your country. That's what tariffs are for. And if people try to pass it off as like tariffs can make us a lot of money, that's not how it works. But you know, it's up to debate. There's a reasonable thought to like saying, let's say it's airplane design or whatever. You want to make it in your country. So even though Boeing sucks, you might put a tariff on buying Airbuses so that Boeing has a chance so they can eventually bounce back and you have an American airplane company if that ever came to being important. That's the idea. But it doesn't mean you get things cheaper or that the country's making money from the tariffs. Boeing's our champion? Unfortunately, bro. Unfortunately, when it comes to the airplane wars, Boeing is our national champion. So we're a little cooked on that. But if it's a Boeing, I ain't going. Boeing has an insane monopoly. Well, yeah, in America, for sure. Like, for example, there is a Chinese aircraft manufacturer that, by all accounts, has fewer issues than Boeing. But absolutely, there's a united front, zero chance of buying it from Europe and America. They have shook hands and said, we will never buy a Chinese plane.
Grocery prices are up 50% from 2020. What is your responsibility for that? I thought her answer on Afghanistan was complete nonsense. She was vice president.
Can everybody just agree that Trump printed $3 trillion and Biden printed $3 trillion and we got rising grocery prices during COVID? Why are we hot potatoing it? They both 2020, $3 trillion. 2021, $3 trillion. Then right after that, $6 trillion was added. We got massive inflation. It's a political problem going back to Reagan.
What we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
That was her best part to me. The part where she talked about what Trump handed Biden at the end of 2020. I think that was the best part. It was real clear. She had like 3 good lines. I thought that part was good. I thought that was good. I mean, it's because, can we just take a second and watch closing statements of Biden? Just compare, dude.
From the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last term.
I can't even finish it, bro. I can't. This is my face. My face win. It's an improvement significantly.